Welcome to this three-part video recording entitled Supporting the School Library, an overview for librarians and school leaders. This recorded presentation will be of value to everyone who has a responsibility for the provision of school library services, including senior leaders and school librarians themselves. The recording aims to provide an overview of key documents and resources to support staff in fulfilling the vital role school libraries play in the learning of children and young people. It focuses on three key resources, namely the Vibrant Libraries Thriving Schools National Strategy for School Libraries in Scotland, a self-evaluation tool called How Good is Our School Library, and finally, the Education Scotland School Libraries Professional Learning Community, which can be found on GLOW. So, to start off, this first part of the video will provide an overview of the National Strategy for School Libraries in Scotland. In 2017, the Deputy First Minister and Cabinet Secretary for Education and Schools commissioned the development of a national strategy for school libraries. Consequently, in late 2018, the Vibrant Libraries Thriving Schools National Strategy was published. This 5-year strategy sets out a clear vision in which every child and young person in Scotland has access to a truly dynamic school library service. To ensure that this overarching purpose is fulfilled, the strategy outlines 5 clear aims for decision makers and school library services to focus on. Firstly, the strategy highlights the importance of school libraries in acting as a key resource in the implementation of the curriculum and in supporting learners to develop skills for learning, life and work. As digital literacy is an essential skill set for the future workforce, the strategy also promotes the use of digital technology to deliver high quality and efficient learning experiences through the school library service. In addition, the third and fourth strategic aims outline the vital role of school libraries in offering support for literacy and numeracy, providing opportunities for family learning, and as a safe and nurturing space that supports pupils' health and well-being. And finally, a key aim of the strategy is for libraries to be seen as a whole school resource, which supports all curriculum areas and therefore plays an essential part in closing the poverty-related attainment gap. As such, the importance of the school library in being well supported by senior leaders is emphasised, and this includes the process of ongoing review by the leadership in schools. As might be expected, each of the strategic aims contained in Vibrant Libraries Thriving Schools is accompanied by a set of actions to support the development of excellent school library services. The Scottish Government, Education Scotland, local authorities, the Scottish Library and Information Council (SLIC), head teachers and school librarians are all key partners responsible for the implementation of these strategy actions. Members of the School Libraries Group Scotland, known as SLG, have very helpfully developed a planning tool to support senior leaders and school librarians to evaluate how they are furthering the aims of the strategy and to plan for the next steps in the library's development. The planning tool, a copy of which can be found on the Education Scotland National School Libraries Professional Learning Community on GLOW, is also helpfully aligned to the quality indicators of How Good is Our School Library, the self-evaluation resource, which is the focus of the next part of this recording. The SLG planning tool can be used to inform a library development plan, prepare for a school inspection, or in preparation for an annual review of the school library service. The National Strategy also highlights the importance of school librarians remaining appropriately supported and trained through the use of online platforms and CLPL opportunities. In response to this, the National School Libraries Professional Learning Community has been developed by Education Scotland. The PLC is a user-friendly, helpful site on Glow for use by school librarians and other staff involved in library development. The contents and access to the professional learning community will be explored further in the final section of this three-part video. If you would like to find out more about the Vibrant Libraries Thriving Schools national strategy, this QR code will take you directly to a copy of the document. This next section of the video will provide an overview of the How Good Is Our School Library self-evaluation resource. How Good Is Our School Library is a companion guide to the main self-evaluation framework, How Good Is Our School, 4th edition. However, the How Good Is Our School Library framework supports library staff and senior managers to evaluate the specific contributions the library makes to school improvement. The development of this evaluation framework highlights the potential of the library as a key resource in implementing Curriculum for Excellence. How Good Is Our School Library is endorsed by Education Scotland and was developed by the Scottish Library and Information Council with the support of a working group with expertise in the school library sector. Whereas the broader How Good Is Our School framework consists of 15 quality indicators or QIs, How Good Is Our School Library focuses on 7 key indicators where the library is likely to play a particular role in supporting school improvement. As such, these quality indicators have been customised to support library staff and school managers in evaluating the contribution of the school library and planning for improvement. The QIs themselves are divided into 3 categories: leadership and management, learning provision, and success and achievements. When evidence from the 7 quality indicators is combined, this can create a unique and powerful story to demonstrate the impact of the library on learning and the wider life of the school, including the 4 contexts for learning. Self-evaluation should be embedded in the work of the school library, and the ongoing collection of evidence helps to establish an accurate view of existing performance, as well as supporting the identification of meaningful improvements that are responsive to the school's needs. The type of evidence collected in the library may differ somewhat to those sources drawn from other departments. However, the basic principles are the same. As can be seen from the illustration on the slide, How Good Is Our School recommends the triangulation of evidence to include quantitative data sources, the collection of people's views, and direct observation. This approach can also be applied within the context of the library to create a rounded perspective of how the service is performing and to identify opportunities for further development. If you would like to find out more about the self-evaluation framework How Good Is Our School Library, the QR code on the screen will take you directly to the document on the SLIC website. The final part of this video presentation will provide an overview of the National School Libraries Professional Learning Community on Glow that has been developed by Education Scotland. The National School Libraries Professional Learning Community, or PLC, is a virtual learning environment accessed through Glow for all those involved in school library provision in Scotland. The purpose of this librarian hub is to provide the most up-to-date documentation and national programmes pertaining to school libraries, details of professional learning opportunities, digital learning resources and links to relevant research, and details of key stakeholder organisations and partnership working opportunities. The PLC was developed in consultation with a range of stakeholders, including school librarians, Education Scotland officers, and partnership organisations such as SILIPS and the Scottish Library and Information Council, SLIC. The PLC is reviewed regularly with new content often contributed by those who visit it. The National Professional Learning Community's homepage contains links to a range of other Education Scotland PLCs, which could be helpful to school librarians and senior leaders alike. These include sites for developing the young workforce in STEM, and there is also a range of curriculum communities available, including those for literacy in English, numeracy and mathematics, health and well-being, and technologies. More specifically, the red arrow on the screen points to the National School Libraries PLC. A link to the Libraries PLC is shared at the end of this video. On the homepage of the Libraries PLC itself, there are key sections for professional learning, celebrating achievements, supporting digital and online learning, national programmes, key documents and resources, and key organisations. Also on the homepage are links to school librarian discussion forums, a library events calendar, and a regularly updated newsfeed where information is shared from Education Scotland and its partner organisations. One of the most comprehensive sections of the PLC is the Professional Learning section. This section is split into 5 discrete parts to reflect the aims of the National Strategy for School Libraries in Scotland. The National Programmes section currently contains information on 4 main national programmes: Reading Schools, BookBug, Read Write Count, and the First Minister's Reading Challenge. You can also find handy links to information on those national days or weeks that you may choose to celebrate in your setting. The Key Organisations section contains links to those organisations and funding partners who play an important role in supporting library development. While the Key Documents section includes links to key documentation which can be referred to when evaluating current provision and planning next steps. This is the section of the PLC where you will find direct links to How Good Is Our School Library and the VLTS National Strategy. In the same section, we have also added links to a variety of key resources with a brief overview of each, as well as themed book lists on a range of topics. The Supporting Digital and Online Learning section of the PLC was originally developed during lockdown to support remote learning. However, this has now been updated to include recordings of webinars, professional learning opportunities, and how-to guides to support digital and online learning. This next section of the PLC is all about celebrating achievements. The showcased opportunities provide a platform to celebrate the innovation and commitment of practitioners to develop a school library service which supports positive outcomes for children and young people across Scotland. If you click on the tile, you will see some details of awards, recognition and achievements. To access the PLC, you will first be asked to log into Glow. All Glow users require a username and password, and if you don't have one, this can be provided by your local authority or the school within which you work. For ease of access, this QR code will take you directly to the National School Libraries Professional Learning Community.